Yo, what's up, guys? We're in Orlando. So we got some videos. Let's start with this match with Julian Espinosa versus Dustin Harraway, LA Winter Open. I've seen something about this Julian guy. He seems pretty good on up and coming. So let's check it out real fast. So he pulls guard. That's nice. With that, I like that 2-on-1 arm control into a half butterfly. Interesting what he's doing with the leg. Let's see what he's going to go for. Maybe a butterfly hook sweep? No? Okay. Two on one, I like that. De La Hiva. Overhook De La Hiva. So it's good to watch these matches with the younger guys. We can learn a lot, see what's going on. Guys playing on the other side. Make sure you guys can play both sides, okay? 2-on-1. Some knee shield. He might try to off balance. You see how he's grabbing that foot kind of weirdly? Nice. Trying to enter the legs. Pulls into a 50-50. Let's see. 50-50 is a little bit different in no-gi, guys. We don't play it the same in the gi. Trying to see what he's going to go for. I feel like a back take or something might come, but maybe he's going to go for the legs. Opponent, he knows what's going on. Oh, Aoki. Don't turn that way. No. So you see what I'm talking about here, guys? Let me rewind it real fast. So as soon as he started turning away, you're usually not going to get out the Aoki that way. I think normally you want to push into, so put your foot on the floor. His right foot should stay on the floor. You see it when it came off the mat? That was it. So when you're in this position, you got to keep that foot heavy. See how it's being elevated? That was nice. Watch out for those Aoki guys. So now we got Patrick Gaudio. He says he rates Gordon's real level and potential in the gi. So to me, it seems like it's easier to go from gi to no gi than the other way around. So let's see what Patrick Gaudio says. He says, to be honest, I believe he could. Wow. I think if he dedicated himself to gi, I don't think that's going to happen. Training the same way he dedicated himself to no gi, he would definitely have positive results. He did what he did in no gi, so if he put on the gi and dedicated himself, I believe he would certainly become a world champion in the gi as well. I don't know if I agree with that one, Mr. Patrick Gaudio. They talk a little bit about Ryan's health struggles. Said ongoing health battles he's revealed on Jake Shield's podcast. I think that's pretty recent. He suffered from chronic stomach issues since 2018, guys. 2018. That's insane. Caused by repeated use of antibiotics for staph infections. Man, you guys got to keep. We're gonna show you guys how to clean your schools. Okay, we're gonna find some videos on that. There's no reason you guys should have to have outbreaks in your gyms. Future gi jiu-jitsu. Ryan has not shied away from making bold claims regarding his potential impact on gi jiu-jitsu. In a conversation with Joe Rogan, he argued he might be the only person who could save the traditional gi Brazilian jiu-jitsu competition scene. Seems like it's doing okay because 4,000 people are signed up for Pans next week. And while it might not be the biggest spectator sport, they did like the Crown. IBJJF is just kind of slow. They let these other kind of promotions kind of take over the narrative of what's popular in jiu-jitsu. So they're behind. It's their fault. It's all IBJJF's fault. They had the first mover advantage, and then they could have been doing this stuff during the pandemic, having like super fights and these professional leagues and so all that stuff. They have all the ability to do it. It's just whether or not they want to invest in it. But then while they're contemplating if they should invest in it, other people are doing it and then taking over the market share, right? Advantages of gi training: more available moves and submissions. Yeah, there's a ton of gi submissions and more training opportunities. I don't know about that one. Are there more training? Well, if you do both, you have more training opportunities, right? Here's a little video of Gordon training with the gi. Let's look at a slight clip of it. I turn that down. That's hurting my ears. I think Gordon used to train in the gi a little bit. There's a match of him versus Tommy Langaker. He probably doesn't want you guys to see, but it looks like he's just doing no gi in the gi, which is my pretty much my complaint with all the no gi guys. So Chew Jiu-Jitsu says, should gi and no gi ranks be separate in BJJ? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I've been pissing some of you guys off.
What up, guys? Today we got a question from Korean Barbecue, who asks me whether or not gi and no gi jiu-jitsu rankings, belt rankings, should be separated, because he said recently he was at a gym, or looking at an Instagram post of a gym where a coach was tying on a belt around the student, promoting them. But when they were talking, they basically implied that they said, man, I didn't even realize you had a gi, as they're promoting this person, kind of like, look, you have a gi, let's wrap our belt around it. And so his question was, because, he looks at it and sees that a lot of the gripping mechanics and things like that are very different. Sometimes he sees people from one facet of jiu-jitsu who struggle to transfer over to the other. So his question is basically, should your ranking in gi or no gi, if that's what you sort of exclusively train, transfer over the others? So if you train only gi and you get promoted to purple belt, should you also be a purple belt in no gi, or vice versa? So, brother, thank you for the question. Let's say that you're competing in a gi competition, all right, and you're a blue belt. So you're blue belt gi competition, you're ready to go. You go in and you compete and you lose to some person, super tough guy, and it happens, no big deal, right? But then you pull up your phone and you're looking at this person's Instagram and you see that this person has won multiple competitions in no-gi at, the highest level, beating tons of really tough black belts, super fights, ADCC matches, the whole deal. So this person is essentially like competing against tough black belts. Would you think that that's fair, that he's competing as a blue belt in the gi? Just because they've never done the gi and it's not their thing, that they exclusively train no gi. Do you think that's fair? I don't. I wouldn't think that's fair. I would think that person's being a sandbagger. Likewise, you could flip it around. Let's say that you're doing no gi and you compete against someone and you lose. Then you find out that this person has won like gi worlds multiple times at black belt, but they're competing as a blue belt because they don't really train no gi that much. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I don't see some big distinction. I don't make this into a big deal. Yes, at the high levels of competition with people that are highly specialized, you will see the differences and they become very clear when someone doesn't train much in the gi and then this guy is like a gi wizard with all the lapels and everything else, right? You'll see the difference. But your average person in jiu-jitsu, they're never going to notice. As an example, my student Brandon Reed, he trains in the gi like twice a year. It's like
really
just usually when he comes here, maybe to do promotions, or when his girlfriend sort of like finally puts enough like guilt on him. Come train with me. Like, let's go, do the gi for a day. So he'll do the gi like twice a year. Well, I promoted him to brown belt at my gym. You guys probably saw the role that we had together in the gi, because I tell my students, you don't have to wear the gi if you don't want to get promoted. But whenever I do promote you, I want to do it in the gi because I like the look of it. Think of it as, even if you don't, train in it, think of it as your dress uniform, and we'll put it together. Then you can take it back off afterwards. And we rolled in the gi. Trust me, even though he never rolls in the gi, rolling with him feels every bit of a brown belt, right? So yes, I promoted him into a brown belt, and he doesn't train in the gi, but if you roll with him in the gi, he feels every bit qualified to compete at your average brown belt competition.
Because I know that I need to watch this video. Maybe we'll look it up later, but I know that guy using the gi grips properly. So is he really a brown belt? He's tough. And he has knowledge of wrestling and all the other stuff that makes him tough. But I can't agree that he is a legitimate brown belt that could teach you brown belt level techniques in the gi. I almost see them as separate art forms. I mean, I say do both, but it is different doing the gi versus no gi. And like I mentioned in the Gordon Ryan video, it looks like a dude just doing no gi in the gi, which is probably what this guy, his student he's talking about is probably looks like. He's not going to play like a modern day brown belt. Like if you watch the brown belt, IBJF, whatever tournament in the gi, and then you look at this guy in the gi, even same weight classes, I don't think it would match up really, but maybe I could be wrong. The big guys can get away with a lot more stuff. They don't have to be as technical. But when you're smaller, man, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to fly, because you have to use the grips. You're worrying about lapels. You're worrying about all this other stuff. And then you think about strategy and methodology. It's going to be different. But what do I know, man? What do I know? Now we got Kurt Osiander with Move of the Day with your favorite Adam Wardzinski. You guys love Adam Wardzinski. I think you just like saying his name. Full screen's killing me. No full screen. I keep forgetting that.
Hi, I'm Kurt Osiander. This is your Move of the Week with special guest star
I've been saying
Adam
that
Wardzinski
Wardzinski's passing is underrated.
And he's going to show us one of his passes.
I want to see left side though.
So
left side.
let's start very simple with a knee slide, something that we've been working on today's seminar. So first thing I want to do, whenever I get to the knee slide, I want to open my top leg.
Corey was doing all this technique, grabbing the
top
lapel,
hip.
moving
So
his
I'm gonna
knee.
fight to get
You weren't
this
doing all
grip
that,
first.
right?
I'm gonna flare my knee outside, and let's say right now that I'm gonna have problem with this leg. So this leg comes up like so, and it puts like a nice shield in front of me. So right now, to deal with that, what I want to do is I want to move all the way to the other side. And now whenever this leg is passing the central line of my body, I want to use my hips to smash it down. And now whenever I get to this position, my hip has to be here, right in the middle of his thigh. I'm staying wide here. And first thing, I'm gonna deal with his frame here. So I'm gonna pull this arm up, making some space. And I'm going with my knee over his knee line. And I'm gonna sit tight on top of his knees like that. And I don't wanna rush too much to mount, because I know my opponent has tools to defend the mount, but here it's really hard to defend that position because I'm heavy, his legs are smashed together, they're looking to the same direction. So now whenever I get here, I'm gonna cook him in that position a little while. And now I'm gonna be fighting to get underneath his armpit, and I'm gonna look for the grip on the collar or on the back of his gi jacket. And now I'm gonna keep sliding to the mount together with this motion. So I'm gonna close the arm, bringing his upper body to the ground flat. Now we land in a perfect mount position, getting my points, getting my dominant position, ready to attack.
Other people that did well in the gi or no gi, and then went to no gi.
That sucked. And I don't want to be on the end of that pass.
She had a really good match.
But go train.
Here we go, guys. So this is kind of the match from 4 years ago. So brown belt. Let's look at a brown belt no-gi guy going into the gi. Turn the volume up. So Andy, Andy's purely a gi person. He does gi, no-gi now. Look at Mason pulling guard. I wonder if Jiu Jitsu's brown belt pulls guard. Probably not. Probably not. And I'm not saying Mason's the best gi fighter, but this was the finals of the brown belt male open class for the Pan Championship 2020. So he's utilizing the lapel. So that's kind of one thing I'm saying. The no-gi guys, jiu-jitsu student, he's the best example for me. He's not using that grip. He's not going to use that single leg lapel grip at all. He's not going to use this pant leg grip here. He's not going to use any grips. What grip is that guy using? And I mean, he can wrestle up. The no-gi guy can probably wrestle up, but he's not going to utilize the full uniform, the full tool, all the tools at hand. He's not going to utilize probably. Not trained twice a month in the gi, right? So Andy, yeah, we're not going to watch the whole match. I just wanted to show, Mason's a no-gi guy. I always thought of him as a no-gi guy. I could be wrong. But you see him actually training in the gi and utilizing the grips and understanding the strategy. I mean, if you don't use the gi grips, you don't understand the strategy of the gi. It's just how it is. You don't understand how to break this grip, how to deal with this grip. You don't understand the gi. I'm not saying the guy's not a brown belt. I'm just saying that he probably doesn't have the technical awareness. I'm gonna find that video, Jiu-Jitsu versus brown belt, and we'll see. But you see how Mason's using this single leg guard pretty effectively. He's keeping Andy at bay. Can threaten to wrestle up for a sweep or takedown, however he comes up. And then Andy, he knows he's got to use the grip to fight this other guy. He's got to use the grips to fight Mason. And if you never train in the gi, you won't know how to grab the belt, how to grab the pant leg like that, how to position yourself. You're not going to know it. You're not going to figure that out training once every blue moon. So let's look at. I'm going on the rant, guys. First off, he's hand fighting, not using the gi. Chew, is this guy really a brown belt? Not even grabbing the gi. I want to see a gi takedown. Not grabbing the gi. His technique's good, but he ain't grabbing the gi at all. I mean, you don't have to grab the gi. He's basically just wrestling. Does he have a guard? Chew, does he have a guard? Did you promote someone without a guard? We're just going to skip it. Oh, he's on bottom. So he's not using the grips whatsoever. No grips. Wrestling. Chew just promoted a wrestler. That's all. Oh, he's trying to strip. Oh, he didn't know. He didn't strip the grip, but he tried to. He's doing no-gi. X guard. Where's his guard at? Does he have a guard? So this is 1 month ago. Well, he just got promoted to brown belt, so man, I just suggest if you're a school owner, you're an instructor, would you give that guy a brown belt? I'm just saying in general, but I mean, obviously he's good. I'm just making the case that you need to practice what you do. If you give the guy a brown belt, he should look like a brown belt. And in comparison, we use Mason Fowler. Obviously, Mason Fowler was in the brown belt finals of Pans 2020. You see he was utilizing the grips. He's playing the single leg lapel, and he kind of knew the art a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. Be sincere when you're training in these art forms. If you're a brown belt in gi and you go to no gi and you sucking, man, be sincere and trying to learn how to play in no gi. And on the flip side, if you're a brown belt in no gi, you come to gi, be sincere learning how to utilize the grips. Put time and effort into learning that art form, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm just saying be sincere. All right, so that was my rant, guys. So Reddit, we got to the guy on his first trial class that threw up on the mat last night. Dang. They did a warm-up. You think they did the warm-up? He says, I truly hope you come back, man. I hope you weren't embarrassed. He probably was. I hope that the experience wasn't one to give you PTSD towards working out that hard in such a public forum. I hope you know that we've all been there. I haven't thrown up on the mat, but I have thrown up in a tournament in the trash can, not on the mat. Don't throw up on the mat, guys. You feel queasy? Go outside or go to the bathroom, because the coach got to clean that up. Some of us might not have thrown up straight on the mats, but I assure you that some of us made it to the trash cans. Yeah, make it to the trash can, guys. Others made it to the bathrooms or made it outside and threw up by their cars. It takes guts to go from sedentary sitting at work and then to jumping on the mats and doing something we've never done before. I admire you beyond what you can imagine. There's one thing that's thing for the always athletic dude to take on a sport like this, but it's completely different for the non-athletic sedentary guy to do it. Hats off to you. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love seeing these posts that kind of are positive on Reddit. Got a lot of negative posts. Nothing worth reading, guys. Nothing worth reading. A little bit of controversy. Every time I cover something controversial, somebody gets angry in the comments. So I'm just reading the post. Mostly I'm reading the post. I might throw in some commentary a little bit, but if you got issues with me, that's just how it's going to be. BJ Penn claims mother is an imposter from disturbing social media rant. So I more so just want to cover this to tell you guys to get help if you suffer concussions or you do MMA, boxing. Think about your brain health, okay? And know when to take a break. I mean, I'm not the best person to tell you to take a break. I be jacked up. Neck be injured. I'm jacked up. Sergi be injured. Tony be injured. Jeff be injured. Yeah, we don't take no breaks. But when it comes to your brain health, take time off. Go seek professionals to help you. So I'm not even going to read the whole post. I just wanted to bring that up. If you're having mental health issues, someone having mental health issues, try to get them as much help as possible. And sometimes they're gonna fight you on the help. That's true. They're gonna fight you. In which case it's hard. It's hard to do anything. Now we got Andre Galvao on the evolution of Kaynan and the threat of Nicky Rod.
We're here at Atos headquarters in San Diego, California. One of the best gyms in the world. Very proud of this place here. And we are on the week 3. Okay, week 3 from the training camp for Kaynan versus Nick Rod. That will happen. Who's number 1? 26.
27.
Sorry about that.
Almost got it.
That will happen. Who's number 127? And we still have like about 5 weeks, to the fight. Kaynan is doing really well. He's getting better every day. He was traveling a lot, teaching seminars after the ADCC. He got a lot of opportunities to go all over the world and teach his jiu-jitsu and make some money, of course, right, with all of that. He's Kaynan is representing jiu-jitsu, nowadays really well. He's a very good guy, not only a great fighter, but also a great person as well. So he deserves everything that he is getting right now, and I can't wait for the outcome of this fight. I hope they can fight really well. I know Nicky Rod is incredible fighter. He's very talented. Very talented, and I coach against Nicky Rod a couple times. They both competed against each other as well, but I believe Nicky Rod evolved so much lately. He's a very dangerous opponent for sure.
So I want to ask.
I almost feel like Nicky Rod would do well at Atos. They do a lot of pressure, and I feel like his style would do really well. I mean, against Kaynan, I'm saying, but I think in that environment he would do well. Especially, I don't feel like B Team has a lot of big guys, but I think Atos has a lot of big guys, which would probably be better for him. So shout out to that. That's going to be a good match. They fought before in ADCC 2019, I believe, and maybe some other ones, but it'd be good to see 2 top guys going at it. So back on Reddit, it says, how do you find motivation to keep going? He says, my 8-year-old son and I started our BJJ journey 3 months ago. Oh, he's brand new. He already, dang. And not looking good, guys. Not looking good. 3 months and you already losing motivation? That ain't good, bro. Go ahead and find a different sport. Go play some pickleball. That's what I tell people. We started out 5 days a week. Why are you doing 5 days a week, bro? Just 1 day, 2 days a week. Oh, my God. He burned himself out. Yo, 5 days a week? Come on, man. That's way too much. Sometimes 6 days a week. Oh, some of these new guys get addicted. They listen to Jocko. They listen to Joe Rogan, whoever. And then they're like, I'm going to train every day. And then they burn out in 3 months like this guy. After the initial first couple of weeks, it felt like we've seen progress week after week. It really helped only living 5 minutes. Oh, that's why. Living 5 minutes away from the gym at the time. But last month, due to financial and personal reasons, bro, you've been training every day. He trained so much he had to move. We moved 45 minutes away, and now I commute an hour back and forth to work, as well as a 45-minute drive to the gym. Well, that shows you how important convenience is. 5 minutes away. I mean, some of you guys won't travel 5 minutes. You won't even train, and you live 5 minutes away. We both love BJJ, but it's no longer feasible to go 5 days a week. Switching gyms isn't an option either, as leaving our professor is absolutely a non-negotiable for both of us. I mean, well, you can't train then. Either suck it up or you can't train. You got two options. So we've lowered our time down to 2 to 3 days a week, but that still leaves me being away from home 14 to 16 hours a day on the 2 days a week we go. I guess because he goes to work and stuff. I feel like we aren't seeing as much progress with the new lifestyle change. You going to, of course, you training less. I'm also finding it hard to keep motivation to go, being away from my fiance and the other kids so much. I guess my question is 2 to 3 years from now, if going only, well, you should move back. There you go. Move back. He says financial, make more money, move back to 5 minutes from the gym and train more. Yeah, he's stressed out. It's hard, man. It's hard. And they love the professor. There are schools that are closer. Well, go to those schools until you can move back. Go to the closer school, make more money, move back to the instructor that you love. But they're more of a monopoly gym. Monopoly gym. I like that term. Than a close-knit gym that actually cares about what you're learning and not just a monthly paycheck. Sure, something is better than nothing, but I'd be paying more for less. Yeah. Yeah, he's just in a bad situation. Life gonna come at you, man. You're a father. You gotta take care of your kids first. Jiu-jitsu second. Talking about mental, motivation. We got Mental Mondays, which is that this is from 6 years ago. Rudis, please don't hit me with the copyright, but this is from 6 years ago. I'm wondering if this is where Handsome Tuesday came from. You guys know Handsome Tuesday? Do I need to pull up a Handsome Tuesday video for you guys? I might have to do that. Let me pull up a Handsome Tuesday for you guys too. I don't know if it'll come up. There we go. We'll pull up a Handsome Tuesday for you guys. Shout out to Rico. And Rico likes this, and Yuri. Sensei Yuri likes Handsome Tuesdays.
What's up, everyone? Happy Mental Monday. Obviously, you can see I got a new studio. I'm doing this like a real pro now. This is the same studio we use for the Brutus Wrestling podcast, as you guys have hopefully listened to by now. As I just filmed it a few minutes ago. I'm hoping they post that first before you hit this next Mental Monday. What I want to talk today about is the fear of getting tired. This is something that is huge in athletes, something we see all the time. And frankly, there's no getting over being tired, right? If you're going to wrestle, you're going to get tired. So number one, I'm going to give you guys a few bullet points here. And I could expand on each one of these topics, and maybe I will at some point in time, but I'm going to keep this nice and simple for you. Number one, you're going to get tired.
Might throw up like the one guy.
That's just what's going to happen. If I asked you to do sprints for 6 minutes straight, you wouldn't be able to do it. If you guys know anything about the human body, I think it has been physiologically proven that the human body can sprint for a maximum of 4 seconds. So think about that. We wrestle for 6 minutes. Human body can sprint for 4 seconds. Obviously, if you wrestle hard, you are going to get tired. Okay, so that's number one. You're going to get tired. Number two would be try to increase your efficiency. And this does not mean don't do anything. This means if you're the one leading the dance, if you're the one doing the fakes, if you're the one snapping the head, if you're the one doing that stuff, you're going to be very efficient. You're going to be making them use a lot of energy, right? You want to be the efficient one. You want to be the one leading the dance. You want to be the one causing them to react to you, which is going to make them more tired, and the same thing is not going to happen to you. Which then leads me to my next point. Point number 3 is that this is just like when a bear is chasing you. It's very simple. You do not have to be faster than that bear. You only have to be faster than the other person who's running away from the bear. Again, you don't have to beat the bear. You just got to beat the other guy. If the bear's going to get that guy, you're good to go. Okay? Same thing with wrestling. And I said this about the Conor and Khabib fight. And frankly, because their endurance level is both relatively similar, is that if we're at 100% and we go down at the same level, we're still here, right? So if we're both at 70, we're the same. If we're both at 60, we're the same. Now, what you want to be able to do by getting in good shape is, again, you're going to get tired. You're never going to be able to maintain maximum effort. But what you can do is get yourself in good shape so you get less tired. Also, number two, creating efficiency. Remember we talked about creating efficiency will also make you less tired, make your opponent more tired, right? So even if you go down, you're at 100% maximum right here, energy. You go down to 70, but your opponent drops all the way to 50. Now you're looking really good because you're still functioning on a pretty good level. They are way down to 50, so now you're looking like a superstar compared to them. So you don't have to be in better shape than anyone except your opponent. So if you get in better shape, you're efficient, like we talked about number two, your opponent's gonna get tired, you're gonna look really good. And then the last one that we need to talk about is you need to get used to being tired. And the only way you do that is go get tired. You go get tired, you're never gonna knock.
So that's good advice from Ben Askren. So for the guy that threw up, you just got to get used to getting tired. You know, if you've been sedentary a long time, you gotta do the opposite. You got to be active. So before we get into Handsome Tuesday, let's talk about our sponsors. You guys know we love our sponsors here. Sponsor number one, Inverted Gear. They're still running that spring sale, I believe. But you guys can also hit the offer code ALEC somewhere up here. I was been in here this whole time. Whichever one, don't matter, guys. Got offer code Spring Cleaning 25 or offer code ALEC. They both work really well. I mean, of course, I want you to put my offer code in there. Of course, screw Spring. ALEC is year round. Yo. I don't think you guys want to hear crazy. What video you want to see? You want to see Crazy Nelson or you want to see the other one? I kind of want to see the other one today. Is this the one? Let me see.
Crazy Nelson here to
Oh,
tell
no,
you
Crazy
about
Nelson got us. Crazy Nelson,
Get
out of there,
Crazy sale ever. Taking 25% off your entire order. We got white key.
Whew, get out of there, Crazy Nelson. I didn't mean to hit that, Crazy Nelson. Crazy Nelson, get out of here. Say no to Crazy Nelson sometimes, guys. Let's see. Is this the right one? That's the one. Inverted Gear, guys. Get that Inverted Gear. Join the Panda Nation today. Join the Panda Nation. That was great. Thank you, Panda Nation. And as always, our other sponsor, BJJ Mental Models, offer code ALEC. Everything's ALEC. ALEC all day, every day. Is this the video? Which video is this? Let's see what's playing.
You simply will not get this from any other resource online, especially video academies, which are trying to solve for a completely different problem. So we've got hundreds of hours of audio courses on there. I try to bring in the best experts in the world to talk about these topics. So for example, recently we've put out an episode, we've put out a series that I really love. It's a course called Jiu Jitsu for Hobbits featuring Josh Wentworth. The idea here is it's a course for people who are not necessarily just small, but also small, weak, unathletic, just generally outgunned. The challenge I've had with a lot of courses for small people is they assume that although you might be small, you're still maybe a super athlete. Or
Hobbits out there, my Hobbits on Reddit, go ahead and check out BJJ Mental Models. Where is that? Where is that little thing at? BJJ Mental Models, where are you? Be sure to check out BJJ Mental Models. I believe you get a 7-day free trial, guys, with the premium. You also get access to yoga for BJJ. We gotta look at yoga for BJJ one day. Fernando, yoga for BJJ. So I'll get rid of that guy. You gotta hit the sponsors, you know. Alrighty, so Handsome Tuesday.
Handsome Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the love.
Shout out to Nick Siriano.
Everywhere. All at
Thank you.
once. You got it.
Awesome. Handsome Tuesday. You know, Handsome Tuesday is just a special day. Just Handsome Tuesday, you know, just celebrating life right there, you know. Celebrating life. So now we got Josh Cisnero. So we're not going to play the whole thing, but it says Jits Magazine. This came out 2 days ago. Please don't hit me with that copyright strike. I know you guys are tired of hearing me saying that, but it's true. Sometimes I post these videos, it gets hit with the copyright strike, then I'm like, oh, let me edit it. So to get these things out faster, we have to avoid those copyright strikes.
Sort of stayed, like you said, with Tom throughout your whole color belt journey and throughout the whole, I think it's about 8 years or so, was it in total?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I was with Tom Knox up until very end of 2020, very beginning of 2021 is when I moved into wanting to move in together here in Arizona, and now I currently train here in Arizona under Professor Kishino.
And what was it like, sort of coming up through the color belt ranks, a bit of a smaller school, sort of compared to the other people, you know, at your level now?
But yeah, it was definitely a smaller school, not really as known as like, you know, Atos, AOJ, Checkmate, all the Alliance, all the other schools. So it was definitely challenging, right? Because I still had really good training partners at the gym, but it was at the point where I was either older than them or they were way older than me. There wasn't really many people my size and my age kind of competing at the same time as me. The only my main training partner that I had was my younger brother Jacob, and so he was my main drilling partner, my main training partner and stuff. But we did plenty of training, and I never felt that I was lacking compared to the other competitors in jiu-jitsu. Whenever I'd go out there, like I placed multiple times, you know, at IBJ's Worlds, I've won Nogi Worlds, through the color belts and stuff like that. I've, you know, placed up hands, and I've always lose. Maybe probably Diego Pato is probably the only person I'd mainly lose to in the finals at like every tournament. But other than that, didn't really bug me at all, knowing that they're from, you know, big time schools or anything like that. I know that I train just as hard as them and stuff like that going into competition. So
it's pretty interesting.
And
You know,
you mentioned-
he's saying that he trained at a smaller school for most of his career. I think he maybe did change schools recently, from what they were saying. That just goes to show that you know, if you got a close-knit crew, you can do a lot of work. You can make a lot of progress. And from my own personal experience, you know, when I won ADCC trials, I was training at my school in Sweden. It was a decent-sized school. I don't know how many members we had, but, you know, we didn't have a lot of black belts, but we got some tough guys. You know, Sweden, everybody's tough in Sweden. And then I trained at my gym in New Jersey, Maximum Athletics. You know, like Dave and Evan and, you know, those guys. And, man, I was able to win against some guys that came from bigger schools at the time. You know, I did have my experience from Alliance, but I had been gone from Alliance for a couple years at this point, at least like a year or two away from Alliance. So you can do a lot with what you got, guys. Work with what you got, you know. Back in the day, you had to move. A lot of people would move cross country. You know, my friends like John Thomas, Pedro, they moved cross state lines and time zones to train. And, you know, several guys have done big moves like that over their course of their career. You know, sometimes that works for you, but, you know, if you have a good training environment, you have good training partners. He mentioned having his brother. So, man, you can make a lot of progress, you know. Think about the Mahechas. John Thomas did a video on the Mahecha Bros. And it's basically the Mahecha Bros and then it's Serpa. And those three guys are able to fight against the best in the world just with their small gym. So you don't need a big gym. You just got to be focused and, you know, have a game plan, train hard, train smart, and you can do well. Got a little bit of background noise, but, you know, hey, can't do nothing about it. What makes the sound when a joint pops? That's good. We got a lot of old guys that be popping. Tony be teaching and popping at the same time. So says, what makes the sound when joints pop from eating a submission too long? Oh, well, that's not good. I thought he meant like just moving. He's saying in a submission. Assuming nothing is torn, a few times I've had an ankle or elbow make several popping sounds. Well, what are you doing, bro? Or pulling Velcro. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. This guy, yeah, he a blue belt. And later got sore and swollen. Well, that's ligaments and stuff being damaged, bro. But I don't think anything was torn because I was back in a week or two fully healed. It happened. You sound young. He's just young. Wait till you get older. It happens to my teammates too. What actually makes those sounds inside the joint? It's the ligaments and it's soft tissue tearing. That's what this guy says. Tearing Velcro sound is definitely soft tissue tearing. Not all tears are equally bad. Good, you recovered quickly. The popping sound is fluid and gas moving when you crack your knuckles. Yeah, but he ain't cracking his knuckles. He's cracking his knees and ankles. Here's the black belt. He says, enjoy that while it lasts. Yeah, that healing factor goes down. Popping sounds could be gas release in the joint, i.e. when you pop your back. If you feel pain at the time of application and have pain for a few days after, you did damage to the joint. Now that may be very low level ligament pathology, but the ligaments is still being damaged. So young guys are more likely to just let the accumulation of micro trauma to their joints occur. However, after years of training, you'll see masters athletes / black belts who have terrible joint health capacity. I would say clinically the most common issue I see with jiu-jitsu black belts are guys who are no longer fully straight. Yeah, they can't fully straighten their elbows. You know, they can't fully straighten their elbow and they can't bend it. Likely it is because they would eat submissions for too long while a young blue belt. Yeah, we suffer for our mistakes when we were young. This guy says, this is the answer. 36-year-old, started boxing at 13, BJJ at 16. All of that trauma adds up. I'm not saying don't tough it out. Enjoy your youthful recovery. That's kind of hard to say. While you can, but just know it adds up. I had 2 bad menisci, I don't know what the plural is, and 8 herniated discs in my back and neck, and arthritis in almost every other joint. I still train regularly. Of course you do. But I do have frequent numbness and tingling in my arms. That's pretty bad. That's from the herniated discs. Legs and jaw and neck. Dang. Yeah. Tap early sometimes. Yeah, think about some guys like Richard out there. He's slamming me, slamming himself. I wonder if he's going to last, you know. I wonder, bro. What is this video? Oh. I've got one last video. Kind of short day today, but it says Baza Jiu Jitsu. So this guy won Pan Am's. I forget when he won. Pretty recently. Maybe last year, actually. And so kind of going opposite of where most people. I actually want to see this video too. Not today, but maybe tomorrow. You know, I'd be saving things in my playlist, guys. So he won, I believe, Pans last year, and then, you know, instead of being like, I'm gonna go full in, blah blah blah, he's like, I'm gonna open a school. So this is the different model you guys can utilize. When make a name for yourself, immediately go open up a school. So, you know, if you want to make some money, I think that's probably the better route. Now for competition, probably not the best route, because his focus is going to be on the school, right? Teaching. So you got to make that decision for yourselves. It's about your life. If you're like, hey, I just want to open up a school, I want to be financially well off and be a part of the community, open up a school. But if you still want to compete, you probably don't want to open up a school at the same time.
All right, guys, Mateus Rodriguez here. Today we are at Baza Jiu Jitsu, North Hollywood. I'll show you guys around. I'm very excited, very happy to have IBJJF here. An honor. Let's go. All right, guys, so first thing that we have here is my medals. You know, I'm not done with it yet. I still many more medals to come, but you know, this makes me very happy over here. You know, for me, everything that I've done my whole career, the whole time I've been training Jiu-Jitsu, since I was a kid, everything is inside this building.
Like 10 years ago.
And I'm very excited to share everything with you guys. You walk in and you already have that feeling, that wow feeling. Everything's bright. We have great lighting in here, and I love the floor.
It might be too much light coloredness.
For sure, one of my favorite features of this place. Okay, so let's check out the mats now. Over here to my right side, we have the big mat. All right, this mat's about 60 feet by 30, you know, so it's pretty big. You know, I'm very happy with the final result of everything. The details of the mat, the color, he adds a contrast to the place, the light, and the final touches, the metal inspired by AOJ Mission Viejo as well. You know, I'm very happy, the lights, the skylights dropping, more light. I'm very happy, guys. You can't find this anywhere else. All right. And then over here we have the gis. I'm gonna hang them up. You know, this makes me very happy over here. These are first sample gi for Baza Jiu Jitsu. Okay, and I had my professor signed up, my teammates signed up. We had Gracie, Guy Mendes, Rafa Mendes, Felipe Andrew, Tainan Dalpra, Cole Abate, only the best for you guys, yes. And then my gis, I'm gonna frame my belts. I had this gi over here also signed by Wagner Moura. If you never watched Narcos, go watch it. Pablo Escobar right there signed it. We're gonna put it on the wall. All right. And then over here on my left side is small mat. Even though it's the smallest mat, I'm very. This is probably my favorite. I just love how it looks, just perfect. You can't go wrong with this place. You know, it's the atmosphere. You know, is very. It's for girls, for guys, for families, for children, you know, and that's what I wanted to create for everybody, a place that's for everybody. And it's very modern, and yet I still carry the very traditional jiu-jitsu inside of me, and that's the combination I wanted to bring in this place for you guys. All right, guys, so over here we have the right side mat, the big mat, and then the left side. Eventually, we're gonna have 2 classes going on at the same time. That's the goal. You know, I'm very confident that this place will be filled up with people. And, you know, this will be here for many generations. And I know for a fact, this is truly a blessing. And I cannot wait to start contributing for the Jiu-Jitsu community as well. All right, guys, follow me now. We have a special place in this building. You cannot find it anywhere else, you know, so we're gonna go downstairs. So you train jiu-jitsu. If you're a parent, you can bring your kids. If you're a parent, you can go downstairs. And you know, we have a place for people to work out and then also train jiu-jitsu at the same time. Everything in one place, all included, all right, for you guys. So let's go. All right, guys, so downstairs, we have our gym facility. You know, we invested a lot in a lot of equipments for all of you guys. You know, and we want to make sure that we provide a full service for all of our community, for the athletes, for the parents. Once you bring your kid over here, you can come downstairs and, you know, wait the hour or 2 hours that you're waiting for your kid to come work out. Okay, so we have everything in this place. We're gonna have a sauna, massage chair, cardio machines, weight machines, everything that you guys need down here. And then up there, the magic happens, jiu-jitsu. All right, guys, so now I wanna show you guys something very special for me. You know, a lot of the moments of my life.
He's still young, guys.
A lot of special moments while I was competing on the IBJJF mats as well. You know, and I hope to keep filling these walls up with many more pictures, you know, and I placed them very randomly. You know, I didn't want to follow time frame order, you know, but every moment of my life, you know, that makes me very happy. There in these walls, you know, with my father, my brother, with my professor, getting promoted over here to the brown belt, with Professor Guy Mendes, Pan Ams, double gold, me and my brother. It was last year, awards. This picture for me is not the best picture, but I remember the exact feeling. I remember exactly what I was feeling in that moment. That was after I had 7 fights, awards, and I lost to Adam in the last fight of the Saturday.
Wardzinski?
And
or a different Adam?
very special picture for me, you know, and I cannot wait to put pictures on these walls of me winning my world title finally at the black belt. But that picture is one of my favorites over here, me getting my black belt after winning worlds at the brown belt with my father behind me. That was the first tournament he ever watched me since I've moved to the States. So that's very special for me. Professor Guy Mendes promoted me. I remember exactly before the finals, I told him I was gonna win and that I wanted my black belt. This was
I don't know if you should tell
my
your
first
coach
day.
that, but I respect the
At
confidence.
OJ when I moved.
Me, I'll be a jerk. Like, all right, I'm not giving that guy nothing.
First
But, I mean,
picture.
obviously, the kid won.
Over there, my first gold. I was probably 9 or 10 years old up there. You know, very special moments for me over here. There's still many more, you know, that I want to put in these walls, but these pictures for me, you know, they mean a lot, and to see the people that have been with me for such a long time, you know, it's truly, you know, I feel truly happy and grateful, you know, for everything. You know, I have here me competing, closing out Absolute with
Also,
my
to close
friend
that,
John,
I mean, obviously he's going
Professor
through his
Guy and
memories.
Rafa.
I think that was basically all.
That was 20.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out that's Baza Jiu Jitsu with Pan Champ Mateus Rodriguez, new gym in North Hollywood. Yeah, all the best to him. You know, there's a ton of schools in California, guys. You got a lot of competition. You think where your little school is, there's competition, go to California. That's the hard mode. New York, well, it's hard to afford New York, but yeah, that's pretty tough there as well. That's basically it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. You know, if I'm pissing you off, I understand. I'm sorry if I offended you. Some people said I'm insensitive. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be insensitive. A little bit of comedy, mostly just trying to read these stories to you guys. Break down some videos, read some stories, and keep it moving. All right, guys? So until next time, peace out, guys. Peace. And see you next time.